Hey, it's the normal playing guy, and yeah, so a little touch up on, for example, the worldwide download celebration that's going to come out. Big things. They've revealed the new units, they've revealed the theme, they've revealed a few easy aids, which will happen in part one. So we're going to have a quick breakdown. I studied it a lot just to try and give you a very simplified version. By the way, these units, they are so disgusting. It is power creep the game. Literally, it's power creep the Broly. In fact, both the trio and this unit, they blow the 9th anniversary out the water. I mean, even Beast Gohan cannot compete with the sheer ferocity of these guys. They are so good. Cell Max, yes, probably can because of his outright defensive nature, but like nothing can come close. Maybe Super Broly, but other than that, yeah, we'll just jump straight in. Wicked animations. I mean, we're talking like the 12 key, the 18 key, they have an active skill. Broly's got a multitude of versatility to become a tank and a semi-tank, but with a great support. And same with the others. The Super Trio is, they're very on hand to expertly deliver a fantastic support whilst also being versatile as a key changer. But we'll start with Broly because holy mother, this is going to be good. Seriously, I could talk about this one all day. So he's Extreme Tech, that's good news. I fully suspect the other LR Tech Broly will have an LR EZA, perhaps in part 2, if not in part 1. The theme certainly does appear to be movie bosses, right, in particular. So we have this guy. Straight away, it's brilliant. His leader skill, movie boss, 200%. That is fantastic. One of the best ones going. It's brilliant. First off, I just want to say the only negative I have thus far about this unit is he doesn't have big bad bosses. Movie bosses, 200% lead, doesn't have it. We're still rocking Hardened Grudge. We're still rocking Berserker. It's just not a thing. The Berserker gives you a bit of attack when you fall below 50% HP. Great, but Big Bad Bosses is just fantastically there. But anyway, yeah, okay. So other than that, he's brilliant. So he has a weird setup. So he has an entrance animation which you're guaranteed to get, but he doesn't attack. However, he does reduce damage by 90%. That's as the first attacker, which is insane. So you can just stick him in slot 1 and he just tanks anything. 90% with his stats. Yeah, there's not much that's going there. Oh, and if that's just nothing else, he has 200% defense and guaranteed guard in slot 1. That's mental, isn't it? 200% defense, LR stats, guaranteed guard, 90% damage reduction. It's absolutely insane. However, in slot 2 or 3, as you can see, he gets 70% damage reduction instead. And extreme class allies, they get a chance of crit 50 as the second or third attacker, as well as 2 key 60% to stats. That's absolutely bonkers. He's a 2 key 60% support, 50% chance to crit, and still has damage reduction. But he doesn't attack. That's just period. He's just immune to. He just cannot attack. So there's that. So he's a very defensive sort of situation, right? He's a slot 1 unit. You can transform on the next attacking turn. In fact, actually, you can transform straight away. So I tell you now. So to make it simple, he starts off in Super Saiyan form. He will transform immediately if you must. He'll pop his active skill if you must, and then he can switch from a tank to a semi-tank, but also, well, still actually a very, very strong tank, but also he has devastating power, for which if you choose to flip straight away, then we'll have a look at what he does now. He transforms into this. You could do this turn 1, right? So that's fine. So when you do, you get this beast of just that's really good art. I love the extreme class getting a lot of love, not just in art, but just the It's just needed. Villains are underrepresented, and this guy comes out the gate fantastic. I should also point out before we talk about this, because this guy starts off as just the word Broly, it strictly specifies that this fixes the same name problem. You can now run this guy alongside other legendary Super Saiyan Brolys of the same name, because he starts off with just Broly. So you are able to work it, because they have worked their way around it. I feel like this must be how they would have done it. So you can use them alongside other, like for example the Tech LR Broly that does exist, who will have his EZA in probably part 1 or part 2, also Extreme Tech. They're going to be a devastating combo, right? Okay, so if you do decide to flip the switch and just transform immediately, you get this guy. 3 key to 60% to stats, right? That's still pretty good. You reduce damage received by 50% flat out. But for your first 3 turns, you get an additional 26. So for 3 turns, you're getting 76% damage reduction. But 50% is still good. That's pretty good. Right, okay, so you get an additional 150% on super attack. So we see what these super attack effects do. So your super attack effects, they raise attack and defense for the turn, and his 18 key greatly raises attack and affects all enemies. It's an AoE, so that's pretty good. So you greatly raise attack, 50% buff, AoE, but you do get 30% on your 12 key. So depending on the situation, I mean, he still has a lot of attack. His mega colossal attack is still the 18 key, but you could end up just going for the 12, or somewhere between 12 and 17 is probably what you'd expect. So that's nice. 1 key up to 5, and chance to crit 10 up to 50% with each attack performed. So we need additionals built in. Well, that's great. We have a guaranteed additional normal 50% to become a super attack after you receive an attack. Well, that's brilliant. So how can you help this guy be in slot 1 with his damage reduction? Because it needs a little extra, no matter how great this unit is. But it turns out you get additional 200% defense before attacking, and you guard still in the first as the first attacker. So that's brilliant. Right, so in slot 1 you have 260% defense, 76% damage reduction, an additional 200% defense before your attack, as well as guard. He's literally the definitive tank. So that 200%, it's a multiply off his start of turn stats with his 260%, then you get the 200 off it. So 100 would be double. So 200 is a triple. It's tripling his stats. Is bonkers with guard. There is not going, I mean, even at 55%, he's probably custom made to come out the gate with like 400k minimum defense. Minimum. And that is, he doesn't have big bad bosses, so it's not as if you need to rank up that link. So he's going to be super strong. It's like Cell Max out the gate. He's just going to come out with 500,000 defense, which is great with guard. Why not? If you're in slot 2 or 3, right, you guaranteed an additional super attack. So that will get you your 12 key stats of the raised by 30% for the turn, which is pretty nice. You get an additional 3 key and 50% to crit when there is a Pure Saiyans or Earthbred Fighters enemy, and if your key is 24 on attack, it doesn't have to be a super attack, but you know, if you happen to get sealed, then sure. But on attack, key is 24. You will take out the enemy next action, which could just be the super attack if you play your cards right. He is truly phenomenal. Like having that guaranteed guard bonus there, like triple defense with damage reduction. I mean, even when you go on a bit, you're still going to have 50% damage reduction. But then, so you get 260. Basically, your 200% defense, while it removes an attack, you swap the 200 for 150, which you might think's worse, but then you get 150 attack slapped onto it. So you lose a little bit of defense, but gain a hell of a lot more of attack. whilst you get your 30% defense from your super attack effect, for which then that boosts it by 30%. So it's a small sacrifice to make, and really I don't think you're going to see it really. It's going to be fan-dabby-tastic. He has an active skill as well, and this literally can be popped his next turn. So he comes out the gate, boom, you can choose to transform. Turn 3, boom, you can do your active skill. What is it? 3 key, 26% to stats for the rest of the battle. That's insane. It's absolutely insane. So he does have a few key link changes when you do transform, because he's got Super Saiyan and Shocking Speed instead of, well, I'm not entirely sure what there is, but yeah, Hardened Grudge. So Hardened Grudge is now Shocking Speed and whatever Super Saiyan was. So there are a few key links in there. Prepare for battle, Shocking Speed. So that's nice. Legendary Power, Berserker, Fierce Battle, Saiyan Warrior Race. In fact, all of them give at least 10% attack. With the potentially 4 key up for grabs between Shocking Speed and Prepared for Battle. So that's really good. What are we looking at? Movie Boss, yeah, obviously the best lead going for it. Full Power, Target Goku, Exploding Rage, Inhuman Deeds, Planetary Destruction, Uncontrollable Power. So he comes in with a new lead for that. Now, it's pretty mad how he is a Movie Boss category lead, strictly, but there is a new category without a lead, Uncontrollable Power. It's pretty weird, and obviously it will become more fleshed out. I imagine Part 2 will have an equal one. We're probably going to have something like Bio Broly as Part 2. He might be the lead for Uncontrollable Power, because the whole theme is Movie Boss, right? So we're focusing on the 3 movies of Broly, starting with his first, and then on the way up. So we're going to get a few others. When it comes to Part 2, yes, the legendary Super Saiyan Brolys are going to have a few awakenings, right? But the LR we have a few other Super EZAs coming in, and maybe the first ever LR Super EZA. We never know, but yes, there you go. So he is truly fantastic. There are a lot of teams he could help out on. I like how he's literally just a definitive of tank. Like, you think the only other competitor is Dragon Ball Super Broly, Extreme AGL, and he is Super Bosses and Movie Bosses, depending on the two. Realistically, you're looking at, to be fair, he has a triple lead. Transformation Boost, Super Bosses, and like Full Power. So he is good. With this, you can actually get most of this. In fact, no, you can get them all outside of Super Bosses, obviously. So you can still have a fair bit. And he does have the buff for Movie Bosses, so you could still use him as a legitimate lead. But flat out, this will allow you to have a 200% Movie Boss. Now, that Broly, by the way, is perhaps one of the best units in the game still. He guards, he does like 5 super attacks, he raises stats on his super attacks, he comes out the gate with like 10 million, even at 55%, it's ridiculous. His links are all largely similar, so you can share a lot of compatibility. And when he transforms, he's just a freak. That Broly is probably, well, hands down, Gogeta's the worst LR unit we've had in a while. But that Broly is probably one of the best units in the game. Like, Beast Gohan's one of the best. You can even tag in Tech LR Ultra Instinct Goku, and he is a reasonable okay. No, he's not, he's terrible. But no, he's reasonable. But again, it doesn't matter. These guys are just far better. But anyway, yeah, so this is going to be Broly in his hole. He is truly powerful. There will be touching over these units, and of course on the banner units on another point in time. But yes, so this will happen on the 27th. We can break it down with more that you get, of course, which would be nice. We can go through the theme and the new events that you're going to get and the teasers that have come out. But this just focuses on the Broly. Are you going to summon for this guy? Probably. Are you going to put way more stones in than the Goku? Probably. Seriously, Broly is definitely the way to go. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been the Normal Playing Guy, and you've been a fantastic set of sausages with added extra flavour. So anyway, thank you very much, and if you like this video, you're going to pull Broly, and if you didn't, You're not going to pull Broly. But thank you and bye bye.